Hello, welcome to Wednesday Comics, The Gauntlet. I'm Garrett.
I'm Alex.
And we're here today to talk to you about 6 gems or 6 comics that we're looking forward to for the week of June 6th. Yes, June 6th. This is, I think there's only 4 weeks this month.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I didn't know.
I was looking at Alex hoping he'd fill in.
It was 6 May. It was 6 Wednesdays in May, of course.
Right.
42 days.
So, yeah, Alex is going to go over 6 books that he's looking forward to this week. Here we go.
My first book will be Paper Girls number 21. We're coming back from a hiatus.
You're looking forward to this?
I actually am looking forward to this book.
Well, the art's good.
Honestly, the art is so good in this book that it's hard not to be excited for it to come out. As you heard on the forecast, Marvin seems to know what's going on. Garrett and I really don't. But after 21 issues, I can't just drop this book. It's not quite like Saga, where I know what's going on. There's the subtle little, this is the main story that you're following. It's four girls who are paper girls. I know, they deliver papers. I'm excited to get it. I'm excited to read it. But I really do want to understand the underlying story of what the plot is.
I think I know enough about the characters that I'm starting to enjoy those character beats.
Yeah.
But the overall plot, no fucking clue.
Deadpool got rebooted for a #1 issue. Scotty Young's doing some writing, so and even Garrett says hilarious.
Yeah, the preview was really good.
Funny, so
I was containing myself from laughing to ruin the forecast.
I am super amped for this book. This is actually, since TMNT didn't get to come out this week, it's coming out next week. Top notch. I'm so excited for this book. Gonna read it. Gonna laugh. Who knows? Maybe I'll cry. Laughing too hard. Pee my pants.
Could happen.
Batman number 48. Look at that cover of Joker. This is the Best Man arc. Was it 2 issues?
2 issues. Yep, it's Joker saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You're getting married. You can't get married without your best man."
Bro, you didn't talk to me.
Right.
What's up with that? I
Like
thought we were buddies. Apparently not. Found that girl. Bros before ladies.
But there's these preludes coming out. But I think like 48 and 49 are going to be so amping by the time we get to the 4th of July when that wedding happens. Like you're just gonna be in awe of what's happening.
I think this is one of those things that I'm excited for the preludes. I think they're going to be valid, important information. Maybe they're not super fulfilling, but as a whole they will be. Super amped for 48. I think getting Joker brought into this current DCU will be exciting. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. We've seen him the one time in DC Nation Zero,
right?
Which one of the most terrifying writings I've seen of Joker. So if that Joker is coming into this book, this issue may be one of the scariest books.
Little sidebar: DC Nation #1 did come out today, so that's that free DC comic magazine where they're going to spotlight certain books and do interviews and things like that. So make sure you get that because it's free.
Death or Glory #2. Rick Remender is a writer that in the past I have really enjoyed and only had good things to say. As you may have heard on our last episode where we talked about Death and Glory #1, not our previous issue, but just
Death or Glory.
What am I saying? Death and?
Yeah,
you know what? Maybe they'll
same.
change it. Maybe it'll have to be Death and Glory because you know what? This girl's gonna die. I like this book, but there was that one little hitch that kind of.
Just forget about it. It's in the past.
No, can't forget it.
Well, maybe it won't happen this issue.
We'll find out.
But Bengal's
but I tell you what, this book looks amazing. This cover is spectacular, and the inside is just as good.
Did you already miss that car from issue 1?
Yeah,
I do.
I know. Her car in the first one was so good. Justice League #1, Scott Snyder, our favorite writer. I am hopeful for this book. I think this is one of those books that I don't know what to expect. It's either going to be really wordy and a lot of stuff going on that I'm going to have to read 28 issues to finally figure out what's going on, or maybe with all 3 of these writers having teamed up on No Justice, that they're all having a little say on what's going into each other's books, that this might be a good read, a little introduction into this new Justice League team, and I think we're supposed to get a Legion of Doom, supposedly. So, pretty excited to see where this book leads for that.
The only thing I wish on the cover is that Martian Manhunter was right in the center, just going like Hercules hold, like holding everyone up.
I wish that he was right here in between these two, because as again, you're seeing the Trinity is that #1, where in all honesty, this team should be pretty even. It's not just the Trinity book. And my last book is Nightwing. I don't remember what number. 45. Man, we're 45 issues into this series.
Yeah.
I know I talked about it on the forecast, may not get this book. I looked at it and it's like, you know what? I'm still semi-interested to see what's going on. So I'll give this issue my try, be like, you know what, love it, gotta keep getting it. And I think a part of it is that as long as it is a Nightwing book and it's not a Nightwing and his best buddies or other friends or what have you, just give me Dick Grayson as Nightwing.
All we want is Dick Grayson.
Of course. Garrett, what you got?
Starting with my first book is Isola number 3. This has been a really great series so far. We've only had 2 issues out before this, you know, inspired by Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki, things like that. It's kind of this really light, open world story about what we're presuming is a fallen kingdom, especially with the Queen, not Jurassic Park.
Oh, sorry.
Especially with the Queen. Life finds a way, though. Especially with the Queen turning into a blue tiger. I feel like we have so many issues to come, so much backstory to delve into, that it's exciting being on like the front lines or like the beginning of this story and see how it unfolds over probably the next couple of years for sure. So definitely want to check that out. Art style is amazing.
I hope this is kind of like a Lazarus forming where the 3 of us had talked about getting, Marvin included, talked about getting Lazarus number 1. It's like, oh, you know, this book could be really good, and to turn out to be one of the best written books and one of the most beautiful books. This art and this cover is so amazing that I am so excited to get it, but I know it's going to be a long journey. At least I'm hopeful it's a long journey.
Yeah, it better be a long book. It has the seeds to be a long book. Next, I got Sword Daughter number 1, written by Brian Wood, art by Jose, or he does colors, and Mac Chatter. But this is a revenge story. Basically, there is a faction of knights, I think called the 40 Swords, that come and kill this entire village. And the only ones left surviving are a father and daughter. And the father's going to train this daughter to basically help take revenge against this faction. So it's going to be a you know, kind of that father-daughter bonding book. You know, father's probably going to be grieving over the loss of the mother. But the art looks great. Brian Wood is a great writer. If you read any of his other books in the past, like Marvin brought up on the Forecast Northlanders, and this is taking you through the Viking Age as well. So very much looking forward to this. I hope it's not $5 each issue. I understand for issue 1, but each comic's going to be 28 pages, so definitely looking forward to diving into this. Next, got Captain America number 703. 701 and 702, we're back on track. Even though Cap isn't in this book, I'm really enjoying this storyline. It takes place in the future.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You heard it here first. The main character, Captain America, doesn't have to be in the book to be
his
good.
His descendant, it's all about him. It's all about Cap and his descendant. When turtles aren't in the book, it's about the mutant animals. Nobody cares about them.
I care about them.
Well, you're the only one. So that's why that book wasn't selling, and now it is again, because they're back in it. But this book has been fun honoring the legacy of Captain America, and things that took place in the past are affecting today's current events. That's exciting to see things unfold with Captain America, Red Skull, you know, other people that are involved in Captain America's life. Very much looking forward to this issue. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And this might be I think this is the last issue before new issue number 1 comes out in July, because this is June, yeah.
Cool.
Next, got Go-Go Power Rangers, number 10. This is part something of Shattered Grid, probably 5 or 6. Yep. Anytime there's been a Shattered Grid book coming out, it's been so good. The only thing I didn't like was that annual, which I mentioned. But this has been incredible, this storyline. There have been news, too, that there's going to be a Tommy Oliver book coming out, and Jason Dave Frank's going to help write or help plot the story. But this book itself is crazy. You have almost every single faction of Power Rangers coming together to take on this one threat who seems at every step to be able to screw up what the Power Rangers are trying to do. So it's fun seeing the entire morphing grid work together to try and defeat this villain.
I think it's one of those things, much like you saw in Marvel the Spider-Verse, where, you know, a whole crap load of Spider-Men come together, they all being almost the same character. It's so good to see a refreshing take on what if all the Power Rangers had to come together and they all come from a different, is it necessarily universe or just a different timeline?
Different timelines, universe, there's a little bit of both.
So to see them actually come together and then learn to fight as a team to take on this major threat, that's exciting.
Next, got Man of Steel number 2 by Brian Michael Bendis. Issue 1 was actually really great. Well, I shouldn't say great. It was more like a good. But it's
the best we've gotten, though.
It's the best we've gotten so far, and I was so impressed. And I shouldn't talk about it anymore, but I can't help myself. Why would you ever come out with 2 8-page previews of a storyline? You should have just mic dropped on that first issue, and I would have been like, okay, Bendis knows how to write Superman right out the gate. So my trust is kind of, building back together, and I am excited for Man of Steel #2. I love how these covers are kind of going through Superman's timeline as a character and who he is. We're going to find out a little bit more about what potentially happened to John and Lois. Won't probably find out everything, as it's only part 2 of 6. The current storyline is just Superman being Superman and trying to kind of push back his grief of whatever happened with John and Lois, which again we're going to find out. So I think this story is being really well told so far. Again, need more information to find out. We're talking about it on this week's show, correct?
Yes.
So we'll be able to tell you more after we read this issue this week. And my final one, and probably one of my most anticipated, is the Immortal Hulk. Okay, Bruce Banner is back as the Hulk. It is brought out as a horror book. So it's Bruce probably being terrified of becoming the Hulk, and we're probably returning to those roots of Hulk being this uncontrollable beast that can't be stopped, and people will try and they will fail. So, and we get that really cool classic like Hollywood kind of
movie,
cover,
movie.
yeah. So I'm excited for Bruce Banner being back. I'm excited for the fun Hulk mythos that we love being back, and I'm excited to see a horror twist on this story, because I've seen internal conflict with being the Hulk before, but I've never seen horror come out of a Hulk book in our day and time. So very much looking forward to this.
I think Hulk is that book that you can actually get a different genre out of. It doesn't have to be just a hero, because no offense, Hulk to me is not a hero. He's a monster,
yes.
And his objective is to smash good guys, bad guys, whatever is a threat to Bruce.
What's
and
ever
Hulk
in front
himself.
of him. What's ever in front of him, he smashes.
So I'm hopeful. I even got this book. I wasn't going to get it. Hopeful that this issue pulls me in and gives me a good story. Give me the chills. Make me a little afraid.
Make him chill. All right. Well, that was our books for the week of June 6th. So we hope you have a good week of reading comics. I'm Garrett.
I'm Alex.
And this has been Wednesday Comics, The Gauntlet.
Everyone, keep collecting those gems.